It's exasperating. This is exasperating to watch because people just don't grasp how the seriousness of this situation. Over $16 trillion in value have been wiped off of the world's markets. Gas is $1.90 a gallon at the pump because petroleum is backing up in tank farms to the point where they don't even really have anywhere to put it. And basically, I'm witnessing a situation right now that could lead to war. This pandemic could easily trigger World War III. And if that happened, the loss of life would be far, far beyond what the virus could do on its own. Which is why I beg that world leaders take steps right now to diffuse geopolitical tensions and try and come together for a joint international solution to this virus that does not involve stupidity, ignorance, and bloodshed. Okay? Because everything has been just completely disorganized. It's taking every fiber in my body to not use profanity to describe this situation. I mean, I'm a sailor. I curse all the time, and I'm trying to keep this video clean and not curse, but I am thinking of basically the four-letter word or several four-letter words over and over and over and over again. It's just that's what's replaying in my head right now, is various combinations of curse words. And it's taking all of my energy not to swear because of the ineptitude, the complete and utter incompetence I have witnessed from world leaders, from people just being stupid and not self-isolating, thinking they can go out to parties with something like this going around, where there's no pre-existing immunity to it and the human body has never seen a virus like this before. It's a beta coronavirus. It's not the flu, it's bat SARS. It's highly neurotropic. It gets your lungs, heart, liver, kidneys, brain, blood vessels, and male reproductive system. It's not the flu. I am tired of people calling it the flu and saying, oh, it's just the flu. And then they get all confused, like, why are we destroying our economy for this? If you knew anything about this virus and what it can do to the human body, you would understand, and you would get back in your house and shut up. Just get in your house and shut up. If you're one of these people who thinks, oh, I can go out and party and I just want to live my life and be an extrovert, get in your house and shut up. If you're one of those people, you should have absolutely no place in any sort of decision-making process. Just isolate yourself and be quiet and let adults handle this problem. Okay? Just don't party, don't go to the beach, don't go to the bar. Don't. Stay in your house. It doesn't matter if you think we're wrecking the economy, because frankly, if we did nothing, this virus could easily kill more people than World War II. If there was no isolation, if people weren't staying indoors, you're looking at 90 million plus deaths worldwide from this thing. The case fatality rates that we're seeing do not take into account, usually, This is the really infuriating part, is you keep seeing these figures. They're like, oh, the case fatality rate's only 3%, it's only 5%. And I'm just sitting here thinking, well, it's a form of bat SARS, like SARS or Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome. And those had case fatality rates in the area of like 17 to 29%. And you're sitting here and telling me with a straight face that this virus has a case fatality rate of what, 3%? Are you time delay adjusting that figure? Are you taking into account that many of the infected have neither survived nor died yet? No, you're just taking the total number of infected and dividing by the number of deaths. That's not correct. It's not correct. It's not correct. COVID-19 could very easily have a case fatality rate in the area of 27%. Now, that's not the same thing as an infection fatality rate. Some people who get infected by this may not really even have hardly any symptoms at all. For all we know, the actual infection fatality rate is somewhere in the area of 1 to 3%. But there could be, even though there are like 1.2 million cases worldwide right now, I think like 1.2, 1.3, there could be over 20 million unknown infections with this virus. And basically, if you don't time delay adjust your case fatality figures, I mean, you're going to end up with a figure that's much, much lower, because these patients are still struggling in the hospital and they haven't died yet. And so you don't actually know what the real ratio is. So if you look at the resolved cases for SARS-CoV-2 in the United States right now, you have about 16,000 recovered patients and 9,000 something deaths. That is a more than 50% fatality rate for the resolved cases. All right? So basically, you don't know. Until the outbreak's over, until years and years later, when all this is done and there's a vaccine and everything's under control and all that, until years later, when everything's being studied after the fact, you won't know what the actual case fatality rate is, because there are people right now who are dying of this in the hospital as we speak. There are people that are dying of this disease in the hospital, and we don't know. We don't know if they're going to survive or not. There are healthcare workers who are facing this situation with shortages of personal protective gear. And frankly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing the way we are treating our healthcare workers who have to face this disease with nothing but a surgical mask and a face shield for something that could be aerosolized. It could go right around it. I am tired. I'm tired of the listlessness and the inaction and the red tape and the bureaucracy surrounding all of this. Get your asses in gear and please start taking this thing seriously. Okay? Please.